read a statement. Once right now. And we are now live. This meeting of the City of Socorro Historical Landmark Commission is set to begin. First and foremost, the City of Socorro would like to thank everyone and ask for your patience during this difficult time we have been presented with. Everyone, please remember to silence any electronics to avoid sound interruption. No disruptive behavior or outburst will be tolerated, and any violators are subject to call disconnection and possible prosecution. In accordance with Section 418.016 of the Texas Government Code and by order of the Office of the Governor issued March 16, 2020, the Historical Landmark Commission of the City of Socorro will broadcast the meeting scheduled today, Wednesday, August 12th, 2020, at 6 p.m. from City Hall chambers located at 860 Rio Vista Road, Socorro, Texas, via telephone conference and live stream in order to advance the public health goal and practice social distancing to slow the spread of the coronavirus COVID-19. The public that signed up and any presenters will be called upon by the presiding officer during the meeting to speak during the public comment or their agenda item during the meeting following Government Code 551.042. La reunión de la Comisión de la Propiedad de Propiedades Históricos de la Ciudad de Socorro está por empezar.
Unmuted.
Primeramente, queremos darles las gracias y pedimos su paciencia durante estos momentos críticos que enfrentamos. Favor de poner en silencio todo equipo electrónico para evitar interrupción de sonido. No se va a tolerar ningún tipo de comportamiento perjudicial o revoltoso. A quien no siga estas reglas, su llamada será desconectada y puede ser infraccionado. De acuerdo con sección 418.016 del Código del Gobierno de Texas y por orden de la Oficina del Gobernador, anunciada el 16 de marzo de 2020, la Comisión de Propiedades Históricos de la Ciudad de Socorro transmitirá su reunión hoy, miércoles 12 de agosto de 2020 a las 6 p.m. desde la Sala del Concilio, localizada en 860 Rio Vista Road, Socorro, Texas, por medio de teléfono y será transmitida en vivo para tomar medidas preventivas para prevenir la propagación de la enfermedad del virus corona COVID-19 a los demás y por la seguridad del público. El público y los presentadores serán anunciados por el oficial conduciendo la reunión para poder hablar durante la sección de comentario público o después de la discusión del artículo de la agenda por cual se apuntaron siguiendo las reglas del gobierno 551.042. Ms. Marty Loya, you may commence the meeting.
Okay.
Marty, the time is now 6:05. If you want to go ahead and get this meeting called to order.
Yes, today is Wednesday, August 12th, 2020, 6:05. Call to order the meeting of the Historical Landmark Commission of the City of Socorro.
Line item number 2, we have 4 members present. We have Mr. Alfredo Gonzalez, Mr. Gilbert Lujan, Ms. Marty Loya,
Yes.
and Mr. David Estrada.
Yes.
Line item number 3, excuse absent members, Ms. Mary Perez and Ms. Kathy Apodaca.
I move to excuse absent commissioner members.
Second.
Mr. Alfredo Gonzalez, Mr. Gonzalez,
Yes.
okay. Mr. Gilbert Lujan,
Mr. Lujan?
Yes.
Ms. Marty Loya,
Yes.
and Mr. David Estrada.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. Line item number 4, open forum, we have 0 people signed in. Okay, We'll move on to line item number 5, consider and take action on the approval of meeting minutes. Consider and take action on the approval of meeting minutes for the June 26, 2020 Historical Landmark Special Meeting.
Do we have a motion for the minutes?
A motion to approve?
I second the motion.
Mr. Alfredo Gonzalez,
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert Lujan,
Mr. Lujan, Mr. Lujan,
Ms. Marty Loya,
Yes.
and Mr. David Estrada.
Same.
Motion carried. Line item number 6, consider and take action on the certificate of appropriateness for the demolition of a structure located on 10624 Socorro Road.
Hi, good afternoon, Commissioners. Before you is an application for the demolition of a dilapidated structure located at 10624 Socorro Road. This structure is currently uninhabitable and the roof has collapsed. There has been no occupancy for the past 10 years. It is a substructure on top of a lot with an actual house. Originally, it was a hacienda that the family had first moved into. However, once they built the formal house, no one's actually occupied it for quite some time, and it is a health hazard, and they are not able to legally occupy it, requiring them to demolish and rebuild. That is why they came before you for the application request for demolition at this time. Does anyone have any questions that I can help you answer?
Has anyone actually looked at the structure or the architecture or anything on the house to
So-
determine if there's any historical preservation that could be
So
taken from the house or anything?
we did look up the actual address through the Texas Historical Commission's National Register. It is currently not listed on the National Register, nor holding any historical significance at this time. In terms of architecture, it is not something on the mission located on the district that would presume the historical motif, such as adobe or cinder block or lime plaster, nothing of that nature. It's wood, a wooden structure with a dilapidated roof.
And why is it being demolished? Just for hazard purposes?
So it's not actually legally able to be inhabited. So for any actual occupancy, it's non-conforming and they would not be able to actually use it. And the owners do not have any, they did not make any mention of them actually looking to rebuild the actual home.
Are they the original owners?
She's the daughter. She's not, she lives there with her father, but they're not the original owners. They inherited it from their grandparents.
Or they're gone? And they have no interest in it?
No, they're not able to, at this time to go ahead and preserve the structure. It's so far dilapidated that they don't have the monetary means to go ahead and actually rebuild or modify or rehabilitate any of the actual procedures that we would recommend. They're not able to do so. And they did actually get cited for it being a hazard. So that's why they came before us. This property, I also just want to mention, is not on the street view. It's actually in the back end of their property, so you wouldn't be able to see it missing from the street. If there's no questions, do we have a motion?
Judging by the pictures, I'm looking at the pictures that are available, I'm gonna make a motion to pass.
Do we have a second?
Was there a motion to approve?
Alfred, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What was your question?
No, there was a motion to approve?
We have a motion made by Mr. David Estrada to approve. And I believe Mr. Lujan's on the phone and is seconding the motion.
Okay,
Mr. Alfredo Gonzalez,
yes.
Mr. Gilbert Lujan,
Yes.
Ms. Marty Loya,
Yes.
Mr. David Estrada.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. Line item number 7 is open for questions or comments from any commissioners regarding current commission efforts and projects.
Commissioners, one thing that I did want to let you know is that we are actively working with the Census 2020 organization to go ahead and promote as much of the heritage tourism and economic development aspects as we can during COVID-19. On our Facebook and social media platforms, you will be seeing in a few weeks a lot of scavenger hunts to kind of make mention of all the historical sites that we do have along the Socorro corridor. They are going to be contactless scavenger hunts where they win a prize through an envelope, and they'll go ahead and redeem it for various gift cards of varying amounts, all the way from $25 to $100. They'll be stationed not only at the mission, but also at the Socorro Veterans Site, and we are actually including the original site of the Socorro mission to go ahead and help out with our heritage and tourism efforts during COVID-19. I have been working with Alejandra Valadez, our grants administrator, to go ahead and see if we can get some funding for an update to our historical survey, as well as another grant to go ahead and update our design and architecture standards to kind of get them a little bit more modernized. We are also working with a software company called Acela, which will be able to give access to all of our citizens virtual means to request permits through planning and zoning through their website. So we are currently going ahead and virtualizing all of our applications as well as our permitting instructions. And we are also going to mandate that anything located on Socorro Road does get brought before HLC before any kind of advancement. This will be able to help not only our code enforcement in enforcing our historical corridor, but also promoting our historical district in terms of new business. So it'll be really, really good and a huge step for us to go ahead and modernize our entire process here in the HLC. And those are my updates.
Victor, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You pointed us where to go if someone is out of compliance on the Mission Trail in the historic district. Who do we go to?
So you would call planning and zoning, or you can also email me and I'll forward it to code enforcement. Any of our code enforcers can go ahead and look it up, and they would be able to see if a permit was pulled, if a certificate of appropriateness was done, and then they would be able to handle it from there, as they're able to cite the individual as well. And if you want, I can also give you the phone number for the planning and zoning office if you have a pen and paper.
Sure.
Okay. So it's going to be area code 915 872 8531.
8531 872-8531.
Area code 915 872 8531.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then if you don't hear anything from them, or if you have additional questions, you can always email me or call me.
Okay.
Did anyone have any questions, concerns, anything they wanted to talk about before we move on?
Victor, real quick, I had mentioned I had texted you about the kind of the graffiti that's around town now. I know a lot of kids have downtime, and you gave me some information as far as who to contact. But is there anybody else or anywhere else we can contact to try to clean up some of the graffiti it's really popping up around town, and it's not getting any better. It's not really being cleaned up.
Right. Unfortunately, before COVID, we did have a really good partnership with the juvenile department where they would have them clean up our graffiti. Because of COVID, they haven't been out at all. However, I can go ahead and give you the contact for our police department. I know they've been working with some of the individuals that are needing juvenile hours, so they might be able to go ahead and provide you more information on graffiti cleanup or cleanup removal. Just based on council's directive, we have not been able to go ahead and clear any activities, events, or group activities, coordinated efforts for the rest of 2020. So we're really looking at 2021 in terms of organizing efforts, bringing multiple people in. All of our COVID practices right now have been very limited. For example, especially like with our public works department, they're not allowed to work in large groups. They're actually on their own. So because of that, it's made it a little bit challenging, but I do want to give you guys the phone number to our police department. So that way they can go ahead and provide you more information for that.
Okay,
Our number for the police department non-emergency is going to be, give me 1 second. For non-emergency, it's going to be area code 915-858-6983.
all right. Thank you, Victor.
You're welcome.
Right, we'll be moving on to line item number 8, and that's meeting adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second that motion.
Okay. I have a motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:18. Mr. Alfredo Gonzalez?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Gilbert Lujan?
Yes.
Ms. Marty Loya?
Yes.
And Mr. David Estrada?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. You guys are troopers. We miss you. We hope you guys are staying well.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. We'll see you back here.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Bye. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.